to the Louie Bellina Show, the Friday edition. The Louie Bellina Show presented by CC Electric. Fridays, my favorite day of the week. I always say, let's finish strong. Or at least, let's not screw everything up. Today, let me share the blueprint. This is how we're going to do between now and 1 o'clock. Coming up at 11:30, probably right about 11:35, I got to listen in. Michael Earley, A&M Baseball head coach, had his media day yesterday, and I got to preview the tournament, Globe Life. Vatek tonight, UCLA Saturday, Arizona State on a Sunday. We'll hear what Coach Earley had to say about the challenges that awaits his team in Globe Life this weekend. You will hear all those games right here on the Zone, 1150 AM and 93.7 FM. Also, today, hour 1, 11:55, high school sports update, thanks to Kelly Burt Dozer. Every Friday, every Monday, 11:55, it is the high school sports update, thanks to Kelly Burt Dozer. Lunchtime, 12 noon. Lunchtime on the Louie Bellina Show is thanks to Rudy's Barbecue, which I went this morning because I always say ribs, pork loin, the moist brisket. I love the pork loin, though. And, of course, the green chili stew. I went for breakfast. Their breakfast tacos, so underrated. Lunchtime on the Louie Bellina Show is thanks to Rudy's Barbecue. I ate a huge breakfast, and I still would not mind going back and maybe getting, people love like chopped beef sandwiches. I love their sausage sandwich there. Lunchtime, Bryce Jones, speaking of barbecue pitmaster Bryce Jones, joins me here inside the Charles Schwab studio. It's a big hangout session. We talk, a little of this, a little of that doesn't help you. We'll talk Aggie baseball. We'll talk Aggie basketball. We're going to talk Houston Astros. We're going to talk NFL Combine for sure. Probably more than, but those things I know Bryce and I are going to hang out and discuss. Also, today, food. I saw this story. Johnsonville, legendary sausage brats. Johnsonville has a collaboration with Dr. Pepper. And Bryce knows a thing or two about cooking, not just barbecue. And I want to kind of get his opinion on that. So Bryce Jones, noon till 1, the entire hour inside the Charles Schwab studio. All of that. And man, there's always more. And that's the Louie Bellina Show on a Friday. You can text me anytime at 979-693-1150. 979-693-1150. Man, when I said there's more, the ticket booth is going to open today thanks to Dixie Tire Company. We're sticking with the barbecue theme. I got a couple of $50 gift cards to give away to Rudy's Barbecue. Listening to win. 979-693-1150. That number, whether you're going to call to win, text to win, or text because you're pissed, text because you're happy. What an incredible Aggie athletics weekend we have in front of us. A&M Softball, home, finally. A&M Invitational. You can text me, 979-693-1150. Got my infographic yesterday. Aggie Athletics puts out that rankings roundup, which I love because you look at it, and I keep saying you can see the epicness, the awesomeness that is Aggie Athletics. Women's golf, 3 in the country. Women's tennis, 4 in the country. Equestrian, 5 in the country. Men's indoor track and field is 5. Aggie softball, it says 13. Not sure which poll that is. I got them at 17. Men's tennis is 14. Women's indoor track and field is 17. And again, the Diamond Sport numbers, I'm sure there's some poll. They got them at 18. D1, which on the Louie Bellina Show is what we use, has them at 23. And you just see that, and that's 8 different sports in the spring here, ranked in the top 25. And if you're an A&M sports fan, feels good. Does it not? Aggie softball last night beat the Cougars 8-1, and I'm a little confused because they're not listed in the A&M Invitational, but yet I saw written that it started the A&M Invitational, but they're not listed in the field, but yet it's the Thursday before they play in the Invitational Friday through Sunday. Don't care. They beat Houston. That's all that matters. Now, for Aggie softball. They've got Kennesaw State, Louisiana, doubleheader today at 4:30 and 7 p.m. And something for softball fans, and I've been trying to stress this. We put it out on Twitter, X, Louie B1150, Zone 1150. We put it on Facebook.com/Zone 1150. We put it out everywhere we could. Aggie softball tonight on a special station, Maverick 100.9 FM. Had some conflicts over on 1550. Had to change things up just a skosh. So Aggie softball tonight, Maverick 100.9 FM, and always radioaggieland.com. And this weekend, next weekend, should be the get healthy, get confident, and get things done kind of 2 weekends. Get the confidence going because it's the final 2 non-con weekends before LSU. Price of poker gets up. March for championships begins. SEC play. Easily the greatest conference in the history of college softball. Of note, Aggie softball, Kennesaw State, Aggies play them twice, tonight and then Saturday too. Kennesaw State is here at the A&M Invitational. And their head coach is A&M Hall of Fame inductee Selena Collins Patterson. She was Selena Collins when she played here. She was the Big 12 Player of the Year in 2022. She was an All-American, hit .331, 16 homers that year. She was an All-American in 2022. She lettered. I remember I called all her games. That was a little bit off. So she lettered all 3 years. She was an All-American, Big 12 Player of the Year. Again, A&M Hall of Fame inductee. She was incredible. I remember her well. One of the most athletic catchers I had ever seen in the universe. And she's now the head coach there. So pretty awesome, pretty incredible, pretty special kind of homecoming. When players from that time come back and they see Davis Diamond, what a treat, what a mind-blowing feel it's got to be. So Aggie softball in action, doubleheader tonight. You can listen on Maverick 100.9. Pretty awesome. Aggie baseball, big weekend. First challenge, first test. They got Virginia Tech tonight, number 1 in the country, UCLA, and then red hot Arizona State on Sunday. I took a look at the pitching matchups. And, A&M, same rotation you've seen the first 2 weekends. Sadeo goes tonight. Moss throws a Saturday. Aiden Sims on Sunday. On the UCLA matchup Saturday, they're throwing Michael Barnett, who is 2-0 with a 1.80 ERA. Then on Sunday, Arizona State is throwing a righty, Jaden Alba, who in 2 starts is 1-0 with an ERA of 0.00. Now, it's his first start of the year. Both his appearances have been in relief. He's thrown 7 innings total with 7 strikeouts. So it will be his first start of the year. But in the 7 innings, he is not giving up nada, but it is his first start of the year. So remember, this is announced starters. Things can change. So some tough pitching matchups ahead. Vatech tonight, though, they're throwing Brett Renfro, whose ERA is a 5.4 on 2 starts. He's 0-1, and he's only lasted 5 innings in 2 starts. So that's the pitching matchups. That's the 3 the Aggies will face over the weekend. Game time is 7 tonight, Virginia Tech down in Arlington, the college baseball series. That would be 6:45 pregame. You can listen right here on the Zone, 1150 AM and 93.7 FM. You can listen on the Zone app. You can listen at radioaggieland.com. And you can tell Alexa, play Zone 1150. And again, Virginia Tech 7-1. Their loss was a Friday night run rule loss to Rutgers. You got UCLA, first time leaving home, first time leaving the state of California. They should be a little bit angry losing the midweek to San Diego State. So they should be just a wee bit upset. And UCLA is running into the blender. They're only facing SEC teams. 20 Tennessee tonight, 23 A&M, and then ranked Mississippi State Sunday to close it out. So, man, did they say, sure, just bring it when they agreed to play in this tournament. And then Arizona State suffered their first loss of the year Wednesday in Norman. They played 2 single games. They won the Tuesday game, number 13, OU the Sooners. Beat them Tuesday, lost 4-3 on Wednesday. So they got some battle tested in and did quite well to split against number 13 in their house. And it was a 1-run loss. That's A&M's opposition. That's A&M's opposition. Now, I don't know which way your A&M sports mind is pointing for the upcoming weekend because there's so much epicness going on. To be honest and fair with you, I really, are you Aggie baseball focused, Aggie softball focused? Are you NFL combine Aggie football focused? But for a lot of us, buckyball focused. It's A&M TU. It's beat the heart of TU AA. And this week, I've been pretty convinced that A&M just needed to beat Texas and LSU to get into the NCAA tournament. I got a sneaky feeling that I was wrong, just to be honest with you. I know Logan and some others said, hey, how about 3? And we're thinking that if it's just Texas LSU, how about at least one SEC tournament win was a lot more comfortable. Something that I have noticed is the end of this week with Lenardian bracketology, where A&M started the week, no bubble, lost Wednesday, Arkansas, and Thursday, last four buys is bubble, and they were like the second team. And then all of a sudden you kind of look up yesterday, updated, and today, heading into the weekend, A&M is now the third team. They appear on last four buys at the second spot, and then now they've moved down a spot without even playing because the field is like a living organism. Everything that can happen, it's not just you controlling your own destiny. Your opponents and the integration of all the numbers update without you having to do anything. So A&M, after the loss to Arkansas, moved to the bubble and have, without even playing again, moved down the wrong side of the bubble. They're on last four buys. They're the third team on the last four buys. If they lose to Texas and it's a home loss, they would most likely be the last four in. So we'll just start with that. Now, I said beat Texas LSU. And I thought, because you win those two, you're 11-8 in SEC, 21-10. That should be enough. Maybe it still is. But like I said, Logan, maybe even Olin and others have said, well, let's go get that first SEC win and then feel comfortable about it. And seeing the movement, yeah, I think that's probably the best idea. I hate NCAA tournament committees, and I don't care the sport because they hate A&M, and I don't understand that at all. Yeah, just watching that movement thing, and I'm like, oh boy. So I'm starting to believe I was wrong about just those two and feel good. I now get itchy and don't feel so good about it. And yeah, I was wrong about LSU. I don't want to lose to them. I don't want to find out what a road loss to end the year and, 1-3 down the stretch could look like, to be clear. But I don't know how their net is so good. I think this morning, waking up as of their 65, which is not spectacular, but wasn't quite the mutt fest I had LSU pegged at all. So the LSU, not trying to celebrate LSU basketball because they're not good. but they're not quite the quad 4 mess I thought they were, or quad 3 to be fair, at all. But don't lose to them. Just don't finish out losing like that. That was kind of the point. But yeah, 11-8 should do it, but not getting anything marquee in the non-con, and the non-con strength being so low. But again, the secret A&M schedule, there's not a bad loss in there. That's how they're even looking at the tournament anyway. And if they just keep that alive, because in the opening round, they will be facing another team that if they beat would just keep that one concept alive, and beating Texas and beating LSU and that first team in the first round would just be sticking to that one basic principle, and that should be enough. Lenardi updated bracketology this morning. Top overall seed Duke, last team in Indiana, first team out is Cal. SEC puts 11 teams in, Big Ten puts in 9. I'll be right back. We're kind of just getting started on a Friday. This is the Louie Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric. This is the Louie Bellina Show, Friday on the Zone.
Home, on the road, or Omaha. You can hear Aggie Baseball on the Zone.
The Louie Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric, built on faith, family, and community. Coming up, about 15 minutes, maybe 13, maybe 15, maybe 12. Coming up, 11:35-ish. Got to listen in. Michael Earley, A&M Baseball head coach, met with the media, previews the upcoming weekend at Globe Life, gets you caught up to date on everything Aggie Baseball. Coming up at 11:55, high school sports update thanks to Kelly Burt Dozer. Coming up, you're going to have a chance to win a $50 gift card to Rudy's Barbecue. It is the Ticket Booth. It is brought to you by Dixie Tire Company. The Ticket Booth. I got tickets to all the places you want to be. Troubadour, Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, Aggie athletic events, and throughout the year, there's just so many things that roll by. Aggie baseball and more. Dixie Tire Company. They've been serving BCS for over 35 years. Dixie Tire Company open Monday through Friday till 6, Saturday till 1, and you can call them at 775-TIRE. That's TIRE, 775 Tire. Yesterday was day one of the combine, and I'm fascinated by the NFL draft. I really, really, really am. Draft junkie, amateur draft expert. I don't know how you can be an amateur expert, but I'm going for it, right? And Albert Regis crushed it. Albert Regis had a phenomenal day, got everyone's attention. He lost some weight, significant, not some. He absolutely got everyone's attention. I kind of thought he would. He stood out, pass rush, run the hoop, 4-bag agility drills, and then to run a 4.88 in the 40 at his size and everything, he got scouts, GMs, personnel's attention. Albert Regis had a really, really good day. Went there and made his name. Arm length. Going in was the topic of the day. And then Bain, Miami, Ruben Bain goes in, and they wanted him to at least be like, I think it was 32. And he comes in at 30 and 7/8. Quote, CBSSports.com, Bain's arms measure just 30 and 7/8 inches long, giving him some of the shortest arms for an edge rusher in recent combine history. Quote, in fact, he has an extremely atypical size. Let's see. 2 things. Here's a statistical for you. Matt Miller, ESPN, one of their draft experts. The point stands that no edge rusher with sub 31-inch arms has had 10 plus sacks in a season since 1999. No edge rusher with sub 31-inch arms has had 10 plus sack seasons since 1999. And Bain was 30 and 7/8, which then comes into Cassius Howell, who came in at 30 and a quarter, and he fell into the same category as Bain. And that same statistic pops up. Now, in the end, and this is what I like, what does this all mean? I mean, oh no, the dilemma of a GM, the stress, and the sky is falling. He says neither one of them is dropping out of the first round. So all this arm length and all this, the horror. I have to find this for you. This is in relation to Bain, who wrote this. I think it was CBSSports.com. They were just merciless. Oh, quote, Bain measured in with the same T-Rex style arms many expected him to have. I mean, that's the write-up on another person, T-Rex style arms, okay? So, with the drama, with the statistic, no edge rusher sub 31-inch arms had 10-plus sacks in a season since 1999, and Bain and Howell both came in sub 31. What does it mean? What does it mean? And again, you have one of the ESPN guys just say, it's unlikely either's falling at around 1. So I just kind of shake my head. I guess we need storylines and drama. And Miller goes on when they ask him to do his thoughts, and it's simple. Quote, can I share it with you? Cassius Howell had a day that'll no doubt send scouts back to his tape. We'd already noted that the A&M edge rusher's subpar arm length, but then he ran an elite 4.6 40, which included a 1.59 second 10-yard split. And okay, perspective. I mean, it sounds cool, right? Those numbers are in the 88th and 87th percentile, respectively. Now listen to this. For edge rushers since 1999. So it's not 88th, 87th percentile for this year. No. It's for all edge rushers ever at the combine since 1999. How's that for perspective? 88th, 87th percentile for every edge rusher since the year 1999. Quote, short arms can be overcome with speed, and Howell has proved that. There you go. There you go. So all the talk. That 40 says his short arms put you in ground. His short arms sacks you. The end. But I did like that one part, because if they go, again, what was that first sentence from Miller, ESPN? Send scouts back to the tape. Just take the tape, man. You'll see. All will be revealed if you go back to the tape, right? Man, the Bain, though, was this merciless. T-Rex arms? Seems a bit severe-ish. But that was some of the top talk. Again, and I also saw a couple of scouts just, Onyedem did what he had to do. Not necessarily like all-star workout, but he did what he had to do. Albert Reed shined. Howell, other than arms, just that 40 time, they went, oh, that was glorious. So that was kind of the day one of an on-field. Because again, as I've said, Sunday started, early report, interviews, medical exams, and more. And on-field, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday is how the NFL Combine works. 979-693-1150. 979-693-1150. You can text about anyone, anything. Texarkana, that's his handle. Kirk Gibson, class of 93, as his name said. He's headed to Arlington now. Gig Ags. I bet you're not alone. I don't know. It's weird. You can do that thing where you take a half day and then leave at lunch and still make it in Arlington and be there tons and tons of time. When you got the 7 o'clock gig. Not a bad gig at all. I expect that Aggie Baseball in Arlington, the game should be just packed, because we know DFW Arlington. Is it DFWA? Is that a thing, or am I saying it wrong? Is it AFWD, or is it just Arlington? but that area is pretty maroon and white. Houston's pretty maroon and white. And then the folks that'll make the trip anyway. Like I said, take your half day, lunch. You don't come back. Hey, boss, I don't think it's safe for me to come back in the office. As you're pulled over in a gas station somewhere on the way to AFWD. 979-693-1150. 979-693-1150. So I got a question for the Aggie baseball fans. Those of you that have been to the Houston tournament and have been to Globe Life, which one's better? Which one's better for the college game? Which one's better to watch at? Which one do you enjoy more? And I have a feeling that it's a dumb question because I got a feeling that Astro fans are going to say Houston and Ranger fans are going to say Globe Life, and that it's going to be impossible for me to get a unbiased answer to that question. Call me crazy. I just don't think I will get an unbiased answer at all. But if I'm guessing, like, which park is better for college baseball? You enjoyed watching Aggie baseball at more? Like, I'm an Astros fan. I know I couldn't give you a 100% unbiased answer. Globe Life, I think, has better concessions because the Decker dog grilled from the concession cart is glorious, but the Sheriff Blaylock nachos before they changed them were pretty spectacular too. Globe Life is a great park, but hold on. What are all the different names? What did it? Minute Maid, but before that, Enron, and now Daikon, which sounds like something you cook with, but it's actually a Japanese refrigerator company. Do I have all this right? Park, I like the 4 different views. Because you have roof open, roof closed, but then it's roof open day, roof closed night, open day, open night. Kind of cool. There's strengths to both, but okay. Any Aggie baseball fans that have experienced Globe Life, Aggie baseball, and Houston baseball, which one's better? Marshall, class of 92, said, howdy, Lou. Kirk Gibson, class of 93, big Aggie baseball fan. Safe travels to all heading towards Arlington. Hell yeah. Safe travels to everyone heading down to Arlington. Bring home 3 dubs, would you? 979-693-1150. You can light up the Texas Mobile One Lube Express inbox. Texas Mobile One Lube Express, owned by Gabriel Garcia. Up next, when we return, speaking of Aggie baseball, someone that's going to be speaking about Aggie baseball, head coach Michael Earley from his media day. This is the Louie Bellina Show. I'm inside the Charles Schwab studio. This is the Louie Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric on the Zone.
Visit the Pod Center at zone1150.com and find every hour of every day of your favorite shows. Download or subscribe.
Time now. Listen in. Michael Earley, A&M baseball head coach, had one of those media days, talks about his team, the state of it, talks about the tournament Globe Life that starts tonight against Vatek.
So, Coach, you're 8-0 to start the year. What's the biggest reason that this team has started off so strong?
I think it starts on the mound, 100%. I mean, these guys have done great. They've kept us in every baseball game, would have kept us in every baseball game regardless of how much we scored. I think we've done a good job of playing fundamental defense, getting bunts down when we need to get bunts, scoring the runners we need to score, and not doing too much or trying to do too much collectively as a whole at the plate. I just think we've played complementary baseball to this point. Every now and then we've went a different direction, but one side of the ball or another part of the game picked us up until we could get back on track. So they've just, for the most part, guys are just doing their job in the moments in which they need to do the job.
What do you see as the biggest benefit in playing in a tournament like this over the course of a weekend like that?
Just change of scenery. I mean, I'd play every game at home if I could. So, but I think it's just, and I think for us it'll feel a little bit like home, being where we're at. But I think it's just getting out there, camaraderie, guys staying in the hotel together, eating together. When you look back as a player, like those are some of your favorite memories, and sometimes you don't realize that until you're out of them. But I just think traveling as a team brings the team together, and getting to play in a great venue like this is big league field is where all these guys want to play, and the reality is that most of them won't ever get that chance. So it's just an awesome opportunity for them and our team to go out there and compete. on, against some of the best teams in the country at one of the best places to play in the country.
Conversely, what are some of the challenges? 3 different teams, 3 different days. What are some of the challenges there?
Well, it's just a different feel, and when you play in a series and it's 3 teams, it's sometimes you're getting in the pen for Friday to work on Sunday, and now you're just hoping the team you play the night before that they do that to them. So that's the biggest difference. You don't get a feel for a team. You don't necessarily get a feel for their lineup or their hitters. It's just one shot. So I'm not saying not necessarily a challenge. It's just different. But yeah, that's basically what it is. And then I've said it a couple times, just no BP on a field or anything like that. But these guys have been doing that their whole life, so that shouldn't be that big of a change.
A couple questions about Travis Chestnut. How surprised were you when you heard that hey, they found out he had another year eligibility and getting him back here?
Yeah, it was one of those, another moment I had where I was like, I don't really understand the rules, which I think we've all had a few of those this season. It was funny, another school's compliance provided the interpretation. I sent it to our people, and they're like, oh yeah, he can play. I'm like, great. To be honest with you, he was getting ready to sign in, he was going to go try to play professionally or something. I'm just like, hold up. But yeah, completely surprised. It's such a weird thing, right? I'm sure for him personally, felt like he was done at A&M. And we all want second chances in anything we do in life. Man, if I could just go back, and you can't, and then he could. I'm just happy for him, man. I'm glad he's here. I knew some other schools had reached out to him, but me and Travis have a great relationship, and I'm just like, hey, man, shut up, you're coming to A&M. And he had no other thoughts. He's like, well, so-and-so called us. I don't care. We both know you're coming here. Just want you to be here tomorrow. We'll talk about it. Bring your mom. And I'm just happy he's here. He's a great kid, great dude. But yeah, really surprised.
Now, how have you seen he's a different player having that year away and then coming back? Or a different person?
Yeah, I just think you gain a perspective that you only really gain usually when you're done, right? So I look back as a player in college, I'm like, man, I wish I would have did this or that, or I thought this about that. And it's our guys that come back, you don't, and he got that, but then got to come back. It doesn't, you know what I mean? So I think he gained a perspective, and I've always been a huge fan of Travis and always been close with him. Yeah, he sees the game differently than a lot of people. He sees it in a really good way, and we're lucky to have him.
And then what do you hope your pitching staff learns from facing a diverse set of lineups into the tournament format? You're facing 3 teams, like you said. What do you hope that they learn from this?
Yeah, I hope they just continue to execute their pitches. They're shaped to their location, and that's it. Not no batter, no hitter. Just get the pitch call, execute the pitch. So I hope they don't make it bigger than it is, right? I hope they don't see a great player on this team or a great player on that team, and they try to make a better pitch or the best pitch. It's just we attack the zone in a certain way, and however coach tells you to attack the zone, attack it in that way. No matter who the batter is and whatever the outcome is, the outcome is. We just want it to be a strike, because if it's a strike, it's in our favor. Or when we would need him to chase, try to get him to chase, but just execution.
With Jake Dewar, just last summer when y'all were recruiting him out of the portal, what y'all really see in him that he was a guy that y'all really wanted to take?
It was funny. I knew about Jake and knew he was a good hitter, and then MJ Bollinger came on a visit, and he was like, hey, what about Dewar? I'm like, yeah, like him, I think he's good. And I remember I dropped him off at the hotel, and I came back to the office, and I just pulled up some video at Dewar. I'm like, yeah, I like it. So I remember calling him. It was funny. This portal stuff's so crazy. But I think it was a Saturday, and I'm like, hey, can you come on Monday? He's like, coach, I'm going to be out of town Monday and Tuesday. I can come on Wednesday. I'm like, no one just goes out of town. You're going on a visit. Well, where are you going? He told me where he was going. I said, why don't you come tomorrow? And his dad drove up and came, and I think that part was great too, just meeting him as a person. But he just, I think, provides a ability to get hits, and I think he has some power in there. Hit that ball off the left center wall, 102. We're not asking him to go up there and take big swings. We're just asking him to have really good at bats and get on base, and he's done that to this point. And just, I mean, the stats really jumped out too. Even in 36 games, you hit 428 anywhere in college baseball with a 498 on base. Like, that's pretty dang good.
You know, how much did some of those Flower Mound connections also maybe come from? You get recommendations from the other angles.
I used every Flower Mound connection I have for all those guys. Like I owe some people around there some favors. So yeah, Sorrell was a big part in that, obviously. And then once you get one, you use them to get the other, and you're calling their high school coach and all those things. So yeah, we got a bunch of Flower Mound boys, whether it be where Richard's from or from Marcus. So.
I guess with one more question on Dewar, just particularly through what he did through the fall and the preseason camp, just what were maybe some of the consistent things you saw from him that he was able to win that job?
I mean, he's a really good hitter. Like, he's a really good hitter. He hits the ball to all fields. He provides something different, right? So just with this team, we wanted to, you can't just be all slug, right? And we wanted to find a guy that was just a steady piece, and that's what he's been. And been a phenomenal teammate and dude, and he fits in great. The guys love him. We love having him around. So all those things, I think, you know, he just provides a little bit of balance and being left-handed and handles left-handed pitching well too.
You know, obviously wins, you know, full stop is everything that you play for, but unique situation weekend here. What is the nuanced things you're trying to find about your club, you know, when you come back here on Monday?
Just hope, you know, for me, it's like when you get an uptick in competition or you get some pressure games, like, you don't lose your mind. Like, you don't revert to things or do things you wouldn't normally do. Like, you just do what you do and do what we've practiced. That sounds extremely easy until you're in the heat of the moment. And I heard someone say yesterday, I think it was Mike Rooney in D1 baseball, talking about you can't play baseball with no oxygen. When things get tight, you can't feel like no one's breathing. Like, you just got to play and do what you do. I thought that was really cool, and it makes a lot of sense if you've ever been in that moment. Sometimes, you know, they say the air gets let out of the building. You can never have that feel as a player. So it's that. Like, we're going to get tested, we're going to get challenged, probably be down in some games. Whatever, so what? Just keep winning pitches, keep making pitches, and keep playing. And, you know, I have no reason to believe that we'll do anything but that.
With today's practice day, what will the focus be when you get to the Globe Life, considering you won't have the opportunity to take in and out before any of your games?
So we can do it there, right? So we'll take a bunch of ground balls, we'll take fly balls. They don't let us wear spikes during practice, so for whatever reason. So we'll do like our cut and relays, but it won't be like, the difference between a cut and relay we're going to do today and a game is like they'll be running for it. I'll just put them in the spot so you just get a feel of the surroundings. Fly balls, a ton of ground balls, batting practice, and you just try to get comfortable with where you're at. I mean, I take the outfielders around, I'll hit the ball off the wall just to see if it bounces weird or in a different way. And you just try to get, on those Thursdays, you're just trying to get familiar with the field as much as possible.
How much does that change or is perhaps elevated when you're doing it in a big league ballpark as opposed to an SEC ballpark?
I think it might be a little cooler, you know, I mean, just for the guys, but we don't change anything. And the Rangers are great. Like, they let us in the cage before. I mean, they really give you the run of the place. So we're able to prepare and do as much. I mean, we're on a time limit, but we pretty much can do as much there as we would do if we were playing at Georgia or somewhere like that. So.
Guessing same rotation this weekend?
Yeah.
And just how are Chris and Wesley progressed in these last couple days?
I think they're doing well, you know. I think they're doing well. I told Rich a few minutes ago, I'm not trying to be secretive or whatever. Like, they both did some sort of practice yesterday, and they both progressed. And nobody wants them to play more than them and me, tied for first. So, I mean, and they're really good players, and we want to get them back out there. Like, I think you can kind of feel or see, or I hope you do, like, this team has a little bit of edge to it, and those are two of the biggest ones we got, right? So the baseball is one thing. Like, I mean, you got to see Chris for 2 days. Like, that dude's good. He's something else. Like, he can play. We want to get him out there, but he's the same guy that ran in after the guy hit the homer off of Shane. He's never really played here, and he walks down that step and he goes, "They want a dogfight. Let's give him a dogfight." And I'm just like, you know what I mean? So, like, he brings a lot, and you saw Wes, like, he's really good, right? He also, when he gets tagged out at second base, he runs through the guy. So, like, that type of stuff is, they're going to play well. I know that, but like that edge, and I think the guys are doing it, but we need them back for that reason. And, you know, I think we're getting really close to doing that.
Going back to practice today, is it How difficult is it, especially like for right fielders with the roof and with the positioning of the lighting? Is it that much different playing in there and you have to get adjust to it, or is it pretty much the same thing?
Yeah, I think a little bit. I think it can feel big, but I mean, I haven't seen too many problems. I mean, they designed those for major leaguers to play in, and the last thing they want is big leaguers making mistakes because of that. So I think you're just getting used to it. And, I think places like that are designed for you to see balls well and do things. But yeah, you got to get used to it. There's different signages and all this stuff, and it's any place you play. I mean, that's why you're supposed to be better at home, right? Because you're more familiar. So just getting used to it is. They'll get used to it quick. These guys probably don't think about it all, to be honest with you.
That was Michael Earley, A&M Baseball head coach. Listen in. Had the media day yesterday. Got you prepped for this weekend, Globe Life. Tonight, Arizona, no. Tonight's Vatech, Virginia Tech, 7 o'clock scheduled first pitch. You can hear every game this weekend, UCLA Saturday, Arizona State Sunday, right here on The Zone, 1150 AM and 93.7 FM on The Zone app at radioagaland.com. And of course, you can tell Alexa, play Zone 1150. When we come back, wrap it up. We'll be done with our first hour together. This is the Louie Bellina Show. I'm inside. I mean, where else would I be? I'm not going to be outside. I'm inside the Charles Schwab studio. Low cost, full service, best of all local. That best of all local is Mark Sim. He's right here in College Station. Eats here, sleeps here. He goes to the games too. He's one of us. Find Mark online at schwab.com/College Station. Charles Schwab and Company Incorporated. Member SIPC. It's the Louie Bellina Show, Friday on The Zone.
Spend your late nights with Sports Center all night from ESPN Radio here on The Zone.
I do not know if I can hear Jimmy, but I know I love Jimmy, and that's enough for me. It's the Louie Bellina Show, winding things down here at our first hour together on The Zone. Light up the D4 Land Services hotline. You know, most guests join me on the D4 Land Services hotline. But sometimes, like right now, because the ticket booth is opening thanks to Dixie Tire Company, caller 11 right now on the D4 Land Services hotline, you get a $50 gift card to Rudy's Barbecue. All Zone Brian Broadcasting prize rules. Yep. They do apply. Call now, 979-693-1150. And that's when you go, oh, that's the D4 Land Services hotline number. What's the D4 Land Services? I want to win some Rudy's Barbecue number. 979-693-1150. Be caller 11 now. Good luck. And you get a $50 gift card to Rudy's Barbecue. If you need forestry, mulching, pond construction, metal buildings, d4landservices.com. If you need your land cleared, your land excavated, your land fixed up, go visit d4landservices.com. Caller 11. All Zone Brian Broadcasting prize rules apply. I'll give you a $50 gift card to Rudy's Barbecue. Let us celebrate Friday with style. And I'm going to tell you this right now. The ticket booth is going to open again before 1 o'clock. I'm in a great mood. I don't know how your world is, but I'm in a good mood. I did want to programming. No, that's not programming. Public service announcement. You know, we do Community Spotlight Tuesdays 1:50. United Way of the Brazos Valley is one of our, community spotlights. They were talking about the sneaker soiree they had coming up. I see it has been postponed. And it says stay tuned for a new update. Let me go there. United Way, UwayVB.com. I just saw the social media post on it. Maybe I should go to the website to confirm before I blow up the whole thing. But it says the sneaker soiree has been postponed. It was February 28th. Well, it doesn't have it here, but on their Facebook page, it says that it has been postponed. On the United Way of the Brazos Valley Facebook page, it says it's been postponed. Stay tuned for a new date. So if you're making plans to attend, something to take a look at. 979-693-1150, caller 11. Ticket booth is open thanks to Dixie Tire Company. $50 gift card to Rudy's Barbecue. And if you don't get lucky this time, guess what? We'll do it again before we hit 1 o'clock. We're in the lifestyles portion of the Louie Bellina Show, right? I got to share this with you. I do. Fruit of the Loom Fruit of the Loom is as OG, old school, gangsta as it gets, right? They did a collaboration with a designer. I know, with a designer? Yeah. Overseas. And they created an athletic, formal suit, and it's a cross between sweatpants and a suit. It comes in black and navy, and it looks like a relaxed suit, like a men's cardigan, but guess what? It's made from 100% cotton t-shirt fabric. It's 2 pieces, a double-breasted jacket, and 2 pleat pants. It's jacket and slacks. This sounds brilliant. Fruit of the Loom sweatpants suits. But there's a problem. It's only available in Japan for pre-order. I'd be all over this. I don't know why, but this has been my obsession this morning. The sweatpants suit from Fruit of the Looms, black or navy, but only available for pre-order in Japan, and it costs about $160. I'd be all in on this.